My name is Courtney Ward, and I'm going to be doing a character analysis on the character Long John Silver in the story Treasure Island, written by Robert Louis Stevenson. So to talk about the traits on Silver, we could consider him charming, deceitful, evil, selfish, but he is definitely one of the more important characters in the story. Even out of all those bad traits, he's very respected and feared by almost everyone. I feel like the way he's described in this story gives us a good glimpse on how we would imagine a pirate if we were to ever see one today, meaning his physical appearance, his hook, his parrot, all of that. We also know that he's very different from the pirates. He's a lot smarter. On page 42 we read, "He's no common man, Barbecue. He had good schooling in his young days, and can speak like a book when so open-minded." His character is definitely pretty vital to this story. Though we see him have many different traits, we wonder, is he a villain or is he a hero? I feel like this question is actually subjective. He shifts sides so many times throughout the story, it's hard to ever really question his motive and if his intentions are good. We do see that he takes a liking to Jim. It's almost like a father figure, but not with the responsibility. He lets him, he guides him a little bit, but it's not very strict. It's more of the cool father who kind of lets you do whatever you want. But then on the same note, we saw that he murdered Tom in cold blood right in front of Jim. That was on page 61. So it's kind of hard to follow where he's going to go next. I think ultimately he is a villain because even though he cared for Jim, he pretty much used him to get what he needed and then just to discard him. He used Jim as a means to an end for himself. Dr. Livesey, on the other hand, is like the responsible father figure to Jim. He guides Jim in the right way most of the time. Jim respects him, but he's not moved by him. He's not as moved by Livesey as he is Silver. And, we see Long John Silver giving him tips and advice on how to survive, but it's more so look out for yourself. He doesn't teach him to treat others a certain way. It's just more about, at the end of the day, worry about yourself. So again, I would definitely like to reiterate that I do think Silver is a villain in this story. I think overall in this story, Silver does get what's in the end, because he does escape and he does even get a small amount of treasure. As we read on page 151, they heard no more of Silver, and that was just the end of that. How do you think the story might turn out had he had a more soft personality, if he wasn't as strong and aggressive and feared by so many?